Hey guys, how we doing today?
Afternoon, everyone.
Joe here.
Kevin.
So we have 2 episodes left of season 1 for the Americans.
Yeah.
I'm expecting a lot to kind of go down in these last 2 episodes.
Yeah. Outside of our three leads,
Mhm.
I don't, on this show, with the exception of the kids, of course, I'll
Yeah.
leave them in there too, but I don't feel like any other character is safe on this show. I
Yeah.
think that's the one thing we've gotten this season, because I think Martha, by bringing her parents into it in the last episode, right? She might be a goner. The whole point was you got to kind of blame Philip a little bit, in
Yeah.
in that as a professional, you should have been able to keep those boundaries up, and even when she really pushed him, you should have been able to work around it.
Yeah.
And he let it get too far.
He did.
The show with her. I know he got desperate a few times for information from her.
He had to work her pretty hard.
He had to work her pretty hard, right? But I feel like he let it get out of control to
Well,
this point.
If the parents are involved now,
Right.
Yeah, like that's
Right. It's gotten right now. He's like in a public relationship kind of with her, and
this is. Yeah.
it's messier.
Thank God they didn't have Facebook then, because Martha would be like, "This is my boyfriend on Facebook,"
Right.
But you're right. It's like, how do you back out of this? I mean, he's probably not going to fake Clark's death. What's going to happen realistically
He
is
choked to death in his turtleneck.
they are hazardous.
Right.
By the way, I was editing that episode recently. I'm like, the turtleneck cracks me up every time.
Oh, for sure.
We left
Right.
it on too.
Oh yeah, of course it did.
As you should.
Right.
But no, I think Martha is on the chopping block. For a long time I thought Nina was as well, but I don't think so anymore.
No, I think Nina's because of her relationship with Stan and Stan's marriage falling apart.
Yes,
I think Nina is always going to be there, or at least for the foreseeable future, as the alternative to his wife, right? As the what might be for Stan.
Well, also I think they're setting up to be kind of a foil to him as well.
Right, she's
playing him now.
That's the thing, is she's moving up in the organization too, which is not what they were anticipating.
No, it's not. Certainly not us.
Right.
And they introduced her as such a low-level character. I was like,
for sure. Right.
And the show, one of the themes of the show is really the casualties of war,
right,
and how this affects the little people.
Right.
She's not a little person anymore.
She's not. She's moving to. She had her own office now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's not a little person anymore.
And Stan's foolishness, like Stan is unhinged right now, man. Like,
yeah,
we love us some Stan, but come on, man.
He is, but I got to tell you, honestly, of the three leads, his character's journey right now is the most interesting to me on the show.
I think so too. I do.
I feel like with Philip and Elizabeth, I feel like most of their journey is about, we're going to keep doing our job, and where is that going to leave our relationship? Yeah. Which is interesting, but you kind of see where it's going, right?
Kind of, yeah.
There'll be the hiccups, like Elizabeth wanted to get together last time, but didn't have the guts to say it to Philip when he said he's getting an apartment.
Yeah.
So I get all of that, and it is interesting, and they're two great actors, and their relationship's great. But I'm really more interested to see Stan as he kind of.
It's a fall from grace.
As he kind of descends into the dark side a little bit. I'm kind of curious. I'm more interested because I see less about where it's headed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as by the end of the show, we kind of have two options, right? And I'm talking like end of the run, however many seasons it is, for Philip and Elizabeth. They're still going to be spies. Are they going to be spies that kind of defy their programming for the betterment of the world, or they can be spies that stay loyal to their programming? And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Stan, I have no idea where we're going with Stan on what Stan's going to be.
So I think it's definitely signaling that he's going to lose his family, which is ironic.
I think so. I think
he took this job to be closer to home, right?
Right.
And now it's like the old pattern repeats itself. He's back up in it. He's in the darkness again, and his wife is done. She's done with his crap, as she should be.
No, she should. He's terrible. Yeah. As a husband and father, he's pretty terrible.
And some people are just married to their jobs. He's a fantastic agent.
Yeah, he is.
Very
capable. He's pulled off some things that he shouldn't have been able to pull off.
This guy's basically Sherlock Holmes, for God's sake.
Yeah,
how did you get that? How did you pull that out of your butt?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it is interesting. He has the most complex character arc. I mean, with Philip and Elizabeth, it's complex, but at the same time, we spend so much time with them, and we've seen their backstories. With Stan, we get like an inkling of like what he's all about.
Yeah, the difference, and again, I'm not knocking Philip and Elizabeth.
No.
This is their show, and
exactly.
they're fantastic, and the acting is great. The writing for them is great, but you really get the sense that at least this season, episode to episode, they've all kind of been about the mission, right? Whatever the mission is, that's it. Stanley's the Stan's the one that keeps kind of wandering off the reservation, so to speak.
Yeah.
In that, here's the mission, and Stan's like, I'm going to go do my own thing right now because I'm feeling a certain way, and so he's more of a loose cannon of the three characters, which is where the intrigue is like, I know kind of what Elizabeth's going to do. I know kind of what Philip's going to do. Episode to episode, I have no idea when Stan gets a piece of information what he's going to do with it.
Stan killed a guy.
Like Stan just straight murdered.
He killed a guy.
He shot a guy in the back of the head who was eating a hamburger. You know, Stan can go any direction.
And I wonder if in seasons going forward, if we get more of his backstory, like we do for Philip and Elizabeth.
Right.
I wonder if we start getting flashbacks with Stan. I wouldn't be surprised. I kind of hope we don't, because I like this show.
Me too. And I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the show, if there are a lot of ways we look at Stan as the bad guy and not Philip and Elizabeth as the bad. Because I mean. So. Philip and Elizabeth are spies. They're Soviet spies. It's an American show. They're attacking America. I get it. We're the trope, the setup would be, oh, we hope these two spies who are working against America, fail and get caught and blah 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 blah. I just think we're Americans. It's a show for Americans, right?
Yeah.
But we may end up at a point where we're kind of pulling for them based on the circumstances, and Stan is the villain.
I think so, and I think that this really shows how stupid this whole thing is. You know what I mean? How silly it really is. You know what I mean? Like, it's
the Cold War.
You're two sides of the same coin.
The stupidity of the Cold War, right?
Yeah.
We do want to welcome a couple new Patreon subscribers for the last few days, guys. So Mackenzie Eddington, Sydney Moncrief, Lisa, Magic, and Jim Miller. Thanks so much, guys, and welcome. We are really, really glad you're here with us.
We sure are. And if you guys are watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind, hit the like button for us. Please leave us a comment down below. And if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button for us. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep you up to date on all the new content we've coming your way.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or currently watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you on YouTube, if you get done with this one and want to keep going, we have the next 4 or so episodes up over on Patreon. Wow, we should jump over and watch. You will have to sync and watch along with us on your own streaming service. We're watching, of course, on Hulu. It's a good way to go. Oh, yeah. You will only see and hear us. There is
our faces.
All the mean messages we get. That's the same answer. All you can see and hear us on Patreon.
Yeah.
We're also, currently watching 30 is a Patreon exclusive, so check that out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. For those of you back with us on Patreon, thanks, guys. We're going to start episode 12 here at the hiccup, sorry. In 3, 2, 1, go.
I recruited somebody, a colonel in Air Force intelligence who works in the anti-ballistic missile program.
He might be toast.
Это символ нашей веры.
Okay, so is this gonna like make her turn on Stan, or is this gonna make her more guilty? Or
good question. Depends on how she takes this.
Yeah.
Отечеству и советскому народу.
Because it might fire her up a little bit.
It could. Let's see. Did I read that wrong? Was that just the jar sitting on top of the hood of a car?
That's what it was, yeah.
Seemed risky.
I know, right?
Like, way out in the open there.
I mean, some good citizens would be like, oh, who littered?
Yeah.
We will stumble and fall from grace into eternal damnation. You see, lies are the devil's handmaids.
She's going to tell somebody now.
Yeah.
Weigh down our hearts with sorrow and corruption. They banish us from the kingdom yet to come.
The difference is you weren't corrupt. Your son's life was in danger.
For sure.
Like, yeah, you can feel horrible about it. Like, you can report it for sure, but like, this is not a...
No.
This is not on you, man.
Philip and I both question Prince's motives.
He says $50,000 is his motive. I think that's believable.
For the gambling junkie, yeah.
A Directorate S officer to them.
He'd be swimming in very deep water. He doesn't strike me as the type.
I don't trust Granny.
I never have. Yeah.
I believe it's called champagne.
Are we celebrating?
I certainly hope so.
So I need you to bug your office for me. No big deal.
And then we'll go to the Bahamas together.
Right? Yeah, seriously.
I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to concentrate. But don't say anything until I'm done, okay?
He's definitely misleading her into thinking like a proposal's coming.
Yeah.
He's really baiting her.
I feel like I've known you my whole life.
Him?
Oh, is he proposing?
Yes. Oh, yes, yes. I will marry you, Clark. Yes, yes, yes.
This poor girl.
Thank you.
I feel so bad for her.
I can't believe this. I really can't
I
believe
don't like seeing somebody manipulated like this.
You okay?
Now I am. You?
I don't know.
I think you're right, man. I think we're at the point now where I can't tell who's playing who anymore. You know?
He's certainly the most vulnerable of her.
Yeah, for sure.
The next time your boss is out of the office, I would like you to do me a favor.
What kind of favor?
The treason kind.
Yeah. Go to prison for a long time.
Seriously. I want you to disappear into a black box until the CIA kills you.
But I'll wait for you.
I'll wait for you.
We'll get married afterwards.
Are things going to be okay, Clark? I mean, just please tell me that they'll be okay.
They're not.
They're not.
Look at me. Look me in the eyes. Do you want me to, or do you trust me?
Oh my god, this level of manipulation.
He's got her hook, line, sinker. Oh my god.
Of course.
Dude. Oh, Martha. Martha.
Can I talk to you for a minute, Mrs. Weinberger?
Yeah.
I begged him. I begged him to stop. So I said I'd do it.
I feel so bad for her, right?
You're a very brave woman.
She is.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
I'm gonna call in a sketch artist. Would that be okay?
Yes.
I mean, he was wearing a disguise.
He was.
You should finish your French homework.
I know it's a spy thriller, but I'm really into the family drama too. Of like, just talk to him and go work out your marriage problems.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's heartbreaking when you see
It is,
Paige having
right?
to leave for Dad's house.
Yeah. I feel bad for this sweet, gullible woman. I really do.
Yes,
I'm sorry I startled you.
not to worry.
He did Martha right behind her head. That would have got me too. Yeah. You also don't want to act peculiar around FBI agents.
Truly. Well, now, why don't you just does he have a cup holder in there or something? Yeah, just put up the rest of the pens. There you go, Martha.
Well, you don't want to. She said it's not something you want him to use, but it can't look conspicuously hidden either.
Yeah, like why is the pen behind this picture? Yeah.
Right.
Because we won't be able to live together. I'll stay when I can, of course.
Red flag.
Can know about this.
I would assume this is a guy that had a secret family somewhere else. 100%.
Right. I've had many wives, man. Trust me.
Seriously, I've got families all over. Like Tyler Durden's dad. I'm setting up franchises. So when all of this goes bad, are her parents going to get wiped out too?
I mean, it's.
As I feel like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Mr. Prince, turn around and put your hands on the roof of the car.
So was it a setup? And if it was, why didn't they wait to catch the Soviet spies?
Right?
I don't get it.
Prince was arrested.
Unless it's for something else.
The FBI got onto him?
Not FBI, local police.
Yeah, they say it's just a local
Failure to
cop.
pay child support.
Oh, there you go.
Martha, Mr. and Mrs. Hanson, I'd like to meet my mother, Alexandra, my sister.
Oh my God, they brought Granny along as her mom. Yeah.
Oh, welcome.
Just call me Granny.
As Clark described.
Oh,
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm Bill. This is my wife, Elaine.
nice to meet you as well.
So nice to
I think Elizabeth is feeling a little jealousy here.
Yeah.
It is the means by which we humans tell each other, I'm in this for the long haul.
Clark's like, I'm in this for a few months.
Of course, his middle name's Herbert.
Clark Herbert Westerfall. That's pretty good.
Clark Herbert Westerfeld.
I'm glad they ran it back.
Place the ring on the other's finger.
This is bizarre.
This is so bizarre. This is the strangest kabuki theater I've ever seen.
Truly, yeah, no, truly.
This is speculation.
Call it what you may. These people are the illegals we've been chasing.
Terrible sketch.
Yeah,
I love it.
Well, her description probably wasn't great.
Nah, months ago.
Right. Is she there to fess up and say, I can work this guy?
Yeah.
Я передавала информацию американцам.
But
Yeah. Почему ты решила именно сейчас мне это сказать, а?
Look at this guy.
My handler killed Vlad.
Или дайте мне шанс.
Yeah, she's gonna start working Stan now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The question is how, plot wise,
how long does it last for?
Well, yeah. To what extent can you really do it without Stan figuring it out? Because Stan's not stupid. You can lie to him once or twice, right? And depending how big it is, but I feel like eventually Stan's the one who figures out, right? Yeah, that he's being played.
I see it. Okay, so I think this is going to go for a while into season 2 at least.
I feel like it will. Yeah.
I don't think this is like a season finale wrap up kind of thing because like it's too interesting.
And they've been building it so long too. Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, obviously the show.
All bets are off.
All bets are off on this show.
Like we said,
nobody's safe. Right. They caught and took care of Gregory at a much faster pace than I expected.
And that's such an interesting character too.
Right.
But you're right. I think into season 2, maybe even longer.
Right.
Stan is a smart guy, but he's got blinders on. Nina's the only person that he's really vulnerable with besides Chris, and even with Chris, it was different. It was more like
buddy.
Yeah,
vulnerability. Right. Yeah.
So who knows? I mean,
he definitely feels closer to Nina than he does his own wife, which puts him in a very precarious position. Right. Yeah.
The irony of this, hardened agent who's so good at his job and he's being played.
He's about to be played really hard. Yeah.
How far she goes with it, I want to see how she can play him for info. I mean, obviously, like he's probably gonna tell her stuff. She's probably gonna start,
She's gonna plant misinformation just like the Americans are gonna do with the bug in that.
How are you protecting me? Or that kind of stuff, or putting stuff on him.
Right.
But I don't know. He might catch that. We'll see. Obviously, because you could go so many different directions with this, obviously, and we don't want to discredit Stan's character because he's a good character. Like he's
a great character.
He's great at his job.
Yeah, if there's one thing I'm pretty sure of, and again we could always be wrong, it's that after the smoke settles from whatever Nina does, Stan will be the one still standing.
I think so.
I really do.
I see Stan being to the end.
Yeah, I think the dynamic between him and Philip is so interesting.
Yeah.
That I feel like that's kind of like a Walter White, Hank Schrader situation
is.
where
100%.
that drives all the way through the conflict all the way through.
And I really thought we kind of get it, but like I really thought that like we were gonna focus on the friendship between Stan and Philip.
I think we'll get back to it. I really do.
Because like Stan and Philip are cool. Like
they are.
Stan brought beer to his hotel room and stuff. And like Elizabeth and Stan's wife, they go out, they hang out.
Well, with Chris dead, Philip kind of seems like Stanley's only like guy friend, like outside of the office hours guy friend.
Him and Gad are close, but not really.
Not go out and grab a beer close, right?
I don't
go play racquetball close.
Gad doesn't strike me as that kind of type of guy. Also, I don't know if I'm incorrect in this, but I find the Martha situation to be so funny.
That whole marriage thing with the family and with everyone in their little disguises and everything, it kind of is funny.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. I feel bad for that because I feel so bad for Martha because there is no world when Martha doesn't get destroyed one way or the other, maybe even dead by the time her role in this is done. You know what I mean?
It's going to be a tragic ending.
Yeah. Best case scenario, Martha just finds out that the guy that she's madly in love with and want to spend the rest of her life with is a Russian spy. Best case scenario. Worst case scenario, she and her family are dead.
Even in the best case scenario, she loses her job.
Yeah.
Might face prison time.
Loses her man. Right, yeah.
constantly surveilled by the government.
Yeah, her life is going to get blown up because of this for sure, at the very least.
Oh, Clark, I've known you for 4 months and I love you so much. You know?
Right? Yeah.
Also, like, look,
I mean, he's a spy. He's trained to be really good at seduction.
Yeah.
Their job is to get people to fall in love with them if they need them to.
Yeah, but like, if somebody came into our lives for 4 months and we were single and just like, worked us like that, I feel like I'd have a little like my red flag would be going off a little bit. I'd be like, what's going on here?
Probably a little bit, but I also think we live in more cynical times than Martha does.
Yeah,
I think
this is pre-internet. And all that.
Exactly. I think in 2023, when Tinder has been a thing, in the universe, for sure. Right. I feel like that the barriers are down on people's bad behavior now, in a way that probably wasn't at that time.
Also, it's believable too because she works for the government as well.
Right.
She gets that he has to be secretive and can't open up and all that stuff. Well, work's calling. I got to go be in a different country.
Sure. And his cover story is great. I'm investigating your office, so you and I can't be publicly in a relationship, and we're not even shouldn't really be dating. But I'm going to seduce you anyway and fall for you anyway. I mean, his cover story is great. I completely feel for her. I don't think she's being overly naive, but I do think when the pen came out, that's when I'd have been like, let me ask some questions here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to explain it to you, or do you want to just trust me? No. I want you to explain it to me. Why I should be wiring my boss's office.
Mr. and Mrs. Clark Westfield.
Clark Herbert Westerfeld.
Westerfeld.
Yeesh.
That's a great name.
Oh, it's a great name. That should be a band name.
If I ever have a fake alias, that's the one I'm taking.
Right.
I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
Clark
Herbert Westerfeld. We're heading up towards the finale, and I see a big. I think this whole thing with this Colonel's information, is going to be the finale.
I do too.
Is it pulling that off?
So,
I think.
Also, I was going to say this kind of left on a cliffhanger, almost, because we have the Colonel situation, we have Sanford being arrested, and even Elizabeth and Granny. What's happening there, man? Like, what is going on with that? I don't know if Granny's going to be gone after the season, but I kind of think you should save her for season 2.
She's a great actress.
Great actress.
I always forget her name, but she's done so much character work over the years.
Something Margadale?
Something like that. Yeah, there's a name in there. Sorry, guys. I should have looked this up before we started, because she's crushing it too. I think eventually she goes. I don't think she's on the whole run of the show, but that's because she's had a monster career. I think it's kind of like with Dermot Mulroney on New Girl, right?
Yeah.
As soon as we saw him, we're like, how long were they able to get him for? Because I guarantee they would have added him full time to the cast and would have found a way to make it work.
Yeah.
When you get a powerhouse like that, it's the same thing. Yeah, exactly, right.
But no, you're right. Like, when we get big actors on TV shows, it's really hard not to get excited because you want to spend time with them.
For sure.
Same with Granny. She's a great heel. She's a great villain.
She is. And absolutely.
Whatever they're building towards, I have no doubt the season finale is going to be tense.
I think it's going to be edge of the seat. Honestly, I think it is.
And I wonder if it's going to be longer than 40 minutes because there's a lot you got to wrap up this season.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. Wasn't the first episode an hour and a half? Or was it maybe one of our different shows I'm thinking of?
It was longer.
I think
it was like an hour 15 or something.
Yeah. But I mean, an hour and a half when it played on television.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think it was a longer one, and they went on to 1 hour episodes after that. Commercials. Sure. But maybe, I don't know. I think the longer finales is a new trend that like HBO kind of started a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think this long ago that, what were we, like 5 years ago when this aired?
Yeah.
That I don't feel like that was a thing. People maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
But I would expect it to be 46 minutes. But
which is fine. I mean, you can handle a lot.
They can do, yeah. Sometimes shows do a lot in the wrap up. You don't think they're going to get all the way through.
Yeah. So,
but
we'll see what happens.
We'll see next week. All right, we'll catch you then, guys.